Hi everyone, welcome to your second video on how to read text in a language that we're not entirely sure, using mostly context clues and previous knowledge that we already have. So I already know a few things. You'll see them highlighted in yellow. This is the same thing that we did in the previous lesson. So just to review, I went over the things that I saw in bold and highlighted because I know that that's what the teacher wants me to pay attention to. They're probably the vocabulary words because we know that the teacher highlights them every time. This time she put something in bold, which seems like it's important, so I made parentheses to make note of it later on. I also highlighted the words that I already know because they came up in our previous lesson vocabulary, like indigenous and guardians, and this was from 2 lessons ago to develop. From the vocabulary words, defiende, that DEF reminds me of defend. So I think I have a clue. Labor is the same thing in English. I know that labor is to work, so I've circled it because I know the word. I also made a dot just like I did in the last one to note things that I could check in on. Destruimos sounds like destroy, and I see that there's quotation marks, so that may seem important. There's a few words that I'm not entirely sure from the vocabulary in my first read, which are aniquilación, patrullamos, and hallado. But I know that in a couple of slides I'll be getting to the vocabulary, so I'm going to put a pause on that and see how much else I can get from my reading without having to necessarily know those words. So let's start at the top. I'm going to change colors for my second read to pink so that it's clear that I'm going into my second reading. I know from the agenda that Los Agua y la Industria Maderera means the Agua tribe and the logging industry. I also know from the video that the Agua are a tribe that has never made contact with the outside world. Now, if I know that this is the logging industry, that means that they're in the outside world. So if this is something about the both of them, there's going to be some conflict. So now I have conocido como los guardianes de la Amazonia, guardians of the Amazon. And then I have a quote, which is going to be very important. So the guardians describe their work. I know that describe, and I know the word guardians. So I know that now I'm talking about people who are guarding the Amazon. So this quote is going to be about how we keep this tribe that signifies the Amazons safe. So again, I didn't really have to read much of it or understand 100% of what is in front of me, but I took context clues that I already know and used that in order to find meaning in the text. Do this before you head to the translation. This way, you can test yourself and you can push yourself to start understanding the text in Spanish before you move on to a straight translation. Good luck, you've got this, and you already have all of this knowledge in you.